London on a Saturday afternoon, it's loud, unpredictable, and packed with people. But if you pay attention, there is magic in the chaos. This moment, it lasted maybe a few seconds. She looked across the street, spotted her friends, and then disappeared into the crowd. Street photography isn't about always getting the perfect setting, the perfect light. Sometimes it's about being ready to see the shot and capture it before it's gone. In this video, I'll walk you through a real session in London, and I'll show you the settings, my mindset, and what 6 years taught me in order to capture those candid moments, even in the middle of the chaos. So are you ready? Buckle up and let's go! One of the biggest challenges in street photography is reacting fast. You are walking, people are moving, and the moment only lasts a second. That's why many street photographers shoot in aperture priority with auto ISO. It gives you speed and flexibility, and that's my go-to setup when I shoot with Sony. But with the Fujifilm X100VI, I prefer going full manual, keeping only the auto ISO. Controlling the shutter with the dial is so intuitive, it's part of the joy of using this camera. I usually keep my shutter speed between 1/250 and 1/500 to freeze action, but I can easily go down to, let's say, 1/8 when I want motion blur and a longer exposure. For autofocus continuous and zone focusing is my choice and gives you the best chance to nail the focus. You just move the zone where your subject is likely to be, for example on the upper part of the frame. It's quick and reliable. If you have a camera that has great face and eyes recognition, as for example for the Sony, you can also use that, especially if your subject is isolated. Of course, not every shot is the same. Sometimes, like when I shoot reflection in the glass, I'll go with manual focus. With time, you get a feel for which approach works best, and that instinct is what makes the difference when moments happen fast. When I'm out shooting, I'm not just looking for people, I'm looking for emotions. A conversation, an argument, a smile, a moment of stillness. That's the stuff that tells a story. You won't find those moments by standing still. You've got to move with the crowd, blend in, and keep your camera ready. I shoot with the 35 equivalent, and so it can be the Sony full frame or, for example, the X100VI. It's wide enough to give context, but tight enough to feel personal. And it makes the viewer feels like they were right there. I also avoid full eye contact. If someone sees you coming, the moment is gone. It changed everything. So sometimes I shoot from the hip or frame loosely while walking. There's no time to compose, no time to second guess. I know some people feel uncomfortable about street photography, about taking pictures of strangers in public spaces. But to me, this is what street photography is about. Capturing how people live, behave, and interact in a specific time. And when I look at photos by, Vivian Maier or Ernest Haas, they show me how people lived 50 years ago and how they dressed, how they moved, what felt normal in the street. Obviously, you need to respect people, and I always check the laws of the country I'm in. And if someone complains about a shot, I simply delete it. I also follow two personal rules. The first one is avoiding taking pictures where children's faces are visible, and the second one is that I never share a shot where the subject doesn't look good. Not every great photo happens by surprise. Sometimes you build the moment before it even happens. I often find a spot with the right light or a shaft of sunlight cutting across the pavement, a window with reflection, or, a backdrop that feels cinematic. And then I wait. I watch the rhythm of the street, how people move through the frame, what the light hits, or what the reflection reveals. It's not passive waiting. It's like setting a trap for serendipity. You prepare everything, composition, focus, exposure, and then you wait for the one person to walk into the frame and complete the story. It could be a silhouette, a unique outfit, someone looking up just at the right time, but when it happens, you know it. These are the shots that feel deliberate, but also alive, You are not chasing moments, you are letting them come to you. It's a different mindset than reacting quickly, but just as powerful. And in a place like London, with its constant motion and layers of stories, all you need is a bit of patience, sometimes more than a bit, and a sense for when the scene clicks. Cities don't stand still, and sometimes neither should your shutter. When I want to show how fast the city is moving, I slow things down. 1/30, 1/15 or 1/8 of a second is just enough to blur a leg, a passing bus or an umbrella swinging in the rain. Everything else stays sharp, because I've learned how to stay still and how to wait. I love this shot because they feel more felt than seen. They don't freeze time, they stretch it. It's not about perfection, it's about mood. That blur, that's the heartbeat of the city. And that's what it feels like to be there on Saturday, jam-packed with people and energy. You won't always know what you'll get. And that's part of the fun. Sometimes it's chaos, it's crap, but sometimes it's magic. But either way, you're not just capturing what people look like, you are capturing how the movement moved. I don't just shoot for now, I shoot for later. Street photography at its best, it's a time capsule, not just of faces, but of behaviors, culture, of what felt normal. That's why I love catching people lost in their world, laughing with friends or eating something on the go, or just staring at a glowing screen in their hand. In 20 years, someone might look at those pictures and ask, why were people always look down at that device? Because that's what life looked like in 2025. It's in the clothes they wear, the way they hold themselves, the way they move through a crowd. We tend to chase the extraordinary, but sometimes the ordinary is what matters most. That's why I love to shoot wide with a 35mm, because I leave space in the frame to show not just the person, but the world around them. The brands on the billboards, or the way people queue for a coffee, the way a teenager ties their hoodie. These are little details that tell the big story. So, while some photos might look candid or even throwaway, they are not. They are notes from right now for someone in the future. And I always remind myself that when I press the shutter, I'm not just taking a snapshot, I'm capturing everyday moments, because someday they won't look so everyday anymore.